Hello everyone, and welcome to the next video in the C++ programming course. In this video we will be having a go at a challenge with what we have learned so far. So what have we learned so far? We've learned about arrays, we've discussed variables, taking inputs and giving outputs. So the challenge is to create this program right here. So what this application does is it allows the user to store data to an array, and this is an array of strings, and they can pass anything, but for my example I'm going to pass names. Okay, and they can specify at which position they are saving the bit of data, and then at the end of the program they can choose to output the data in a specific position of the array. So I'll give you an example. So first it asks what position I want my name to go, and it asks me this 3 times because the array has a length of 3. So what position do you want the name to go? So I'll put position 1, and what name do you want to enter? I'll say Bob. So it asks me again. I'll just put something else, and again. Okay, so now it asks me which position I want to output. Okay, so for example I can put 2 and it will output Stuart. The name at position 2 is Stuart. And then I can put 1 and it will print Bob, and 3 and it will print Kevin. Okay, so that's what I want you to try and make. So you can pause the video and have a go, and then come back and I will go through the program with you. Okay, so I hope you have attempted the challenge, and I hope you were successful. So for those who struggled, let's go through it now. Okay, so first let's write the base code of the application. So hopefully you're used to this by now. Okay, so here we want to declare 3 things first. So the first thing we have to declare is the array in which we are going to store the names, or the string objects. Okay, so let's create the string. So it's the array is containing type string, and we'll call it name array, and we'll give it a length of 3, and we'll just declare it like that. Okay, and I have a problem there because I put a capital. Okay, so the next thing we have to declare is a variable, so that when the user inputs the name or the string, there is a variable to hold. There is a variable to assign the data to. Okay, so let's create a variable of a string and just call it name. Okay, now the next variable that we have to declare is the position, so that when the user enters the position, there is a variable that we can assign that data to. Okay, so and this is going to be of type. This is going to be a number, so we'll create an int and we'll just call it position. Okay, so now let's write the first bit of code. So we're going to ask the user to enter the position they want to store the data in. Okay, so we'll write cout, please enter the position of your data. Okay, now we can put a semicolon there, and we'll take in the input and to the position variable. Okay, so I hope you follow me up to here. We've been through this already. Okay, now we can ask them what name they want to give in that specific position in the array. Okay, so we'll output, please enter the name you want to store to the position. Okay, and here we're going to store that to the name variable. Okay, so we'll save this and check that it has no errors so far. And what we'll do to check is we'll just output the name and then followed by the position. So if we run that, enter the position of your data, we'll just say 2, enter the name, we'll just say Bob. Okay, Bob 2. Okay, so it is working so far. So the next thing we have to do is we have to assign that data to the position in the array. Okay, so how do we do that? We type the name of the array, so name array, and then the position that we want to store it in. So we write position, because that's the variable containing the number position. But one thing we have to remember here is that while humans think 1, 2, 3, as in 1 is the first position, computers start at 0. So if they type 1, we have to store it at 0. If they type 2, we have to store it at 1, etc. So we have to type name array position take 1, and then we make that equal to the name that we just to the name variable. Okay, so let's save that and output the name array at position take 1 and make sure that it is working. Okay, so we'll just put 1 Bob. Okay, that's great. So as you can see here, we've got Bob, so that is working. So now all we have to do is we can just copy and paste this 3 times, right? It saves us having to write it all out again. Okay, but we have to remember and make sure that when we do a copy and paste, we aren't copying and pasting these variables again, because otherwise it would cause an error. Okay, and now we're going to the next bit of the code. And so what we want to do here is we want to let the user output the data in the chosen position. So output the data in the chosen position. Okay, so firstly, what do we have to do? We have to output please enter the position you want to output, and we want to save that to the position variable. Okay, so let's do that. Cout, please enter the position you want to output. Okay, and then we can write cin and store that in the position variable. Okay, and then now how do we output that specific position? We write cout, and we can give some text so that it makes it look a bit nicer rather than just having one name like Bob come up. We can have the name at position, position, and we can put is name. Okay, so hopefully you can see what we're doing here. So first we output the name at position, and then we put the we pass the position. So it will, for example, if I inputted 1, the name at position 1 is, and here it shouldn't be name, it should be name array and position take 1. Okay, so we write the name at position, for example 1 is name array position take 1, And remember why we did take 1, because computers start arrays at 0 rather than 1. Okay, so we'll just check that this is working up to here. Okay, so let's do 2. Okay, so now please enter the position you want to output. Okay, so let's type 2. Okay, and here we have it. It says the name at position 2 is Kevin. Okay, so that looks great. So now all we have to do is copy and paste this 3 times. Make sure that these are all indented correctly. Okay. Now, what you can notice is that these are all joined together and there's no space in between. So one thing we can do to fix that is we can put a \n like this. So if we put that in all of the blocks of code, in all of the blocks of places where we either ask to give the data or the output position, if we put a \n, we can see that it will give a bit of spacing. So what this \n does is it gives a new line. So we'll put that there as well. Okay. So now if we save and run that, okay, and if I type in 1 Bob, you can see that there is now a gap in between, so it looks a bit cleaner. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and check the rest of the code. So 2, and we'll say Kevin, 3, Stuart. Okay, so please enter the position you want to output, and we can write, we'll write 2, and that should give Kevin. And now we'll do 3, and that should give Stuart. Now we'll do 1, and that should give Bob. Okay, and there we have it. We have completed the application. So I hope you were able to do the challenge, but if not, it's okay. You can rewatch the videos and keep going. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.